every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. As pure living entities, all are separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and thus no one is alien by his eternal relation. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature. But the Lord is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels, despite material gradation. He descends only to recall these materialistic living beings back to his kingdom. And intelligent persons take advantage of this facility offered by the personality of Godhead to all living entities. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
So, this is the scenario or the scene whereby the Supreme Lord is entering Dwarka and meeting all these different personalities, regardless who they are, including his father, Vasudev, grandfather, Ugrasena, and Gargamuni, teacher. Everyone else in between. It says here, prostitute, chandalas, everyone. They were so happy to receive the Lord coming back to Dwarka, rather, after the battle of Kurukshetra.
No, Maharaja, I'm listening. My phone goes into my hearing aid, and someone doesn't realize I'm in class.
Yes, like to. Was very happy to see Haridas Babu here. Long time friend. Even from the South Street. We used to stay in this place. So, the Lord coming from just the battle is over, where thousands and millions practically were killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. And he's coming back to his kingdom, where he has 16,108 queens and 16,108 palaces. So those are only for the queens. That means it's a big city. There's much more structures there. Krishna says that he lived for 125 years and few months, and Krishna had 16,108 wives, and each and every wife, he also had 10 sons each. And those 10 sons also produced 10 sons each more. So, you do mathematics. Yeah, and this is not including his daughters. So, it's quite a lot, millions, his family members. And he was so happy to come back after that ordeal. King Yudhishthira was put into throne. After the Rajasuya sacrifice also, Shishupal got killed. And yes, many kings were killed. So upon entering Dwarka, many of these personalities greeted him. It was a big celebration. And everyone in all walks of life, even prior to this verse, many hundreds of well-known prostitutes began to proceed on various vehicles. Dancers, artists, dramatists, singers, historians, you name it. Everyone in all walks of life, they are there. It's a complete picture of Dwarka because it is a kingdom which being ruled by Lord Krishna as a Kshatriya. Therefore, all classes in the society are there. It's like in the city of Philadelphia, you have different kinds of personalities, not just one linear or one class, different types. So here, Lord Krishna is greeted by everyone, by bowing his head. He greeted everyone. He's greeted by everyone, and he greeted them in reciprocation. And even though he's the Supreme Lord, accordingly, the different kinds or different relations that he has with them, or accordingly he greeted them. It's like for his father. It's like in India when the children will greet the parents, then they will bow down and they will touch their feet. So even though Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he played that role of son for his family members like Vasudeva. He bowed down. What to say of his grandfather, Ugrasena, and his teacher, or the Kula Guru, the teacher. He's the one who gave Krishna the name. Gargamuni. Yes, Gargamuni. So we should follow in the footsteps of the Supreme Lord because in that role he perfectly played his role. We should offer respects to our father, to our grandfather, to our teacher, to our aunties, to those who are superior than us in relation to family, relatives. And Krishna, he did it in absolutely perfect way. Now, there are other living entities there, living beings who are playing the different roles, and the Supreme Lord also greeted them accordingly to the modes of material nature that they have acquired, or to the activities that they perform. Because he is equal to everyone. Samoham sarvabhutesu navindishyostriya priya. He says that Krishna is impartial. He is equal to everyone. That even low class of people, mentions here, prostitutes and chandalas, dog eaters, like in the Philippines, they have dog eaters. Prabhupada says when he went to the Philippines, in the Philippines, they are also dog eaters. They eat dogs. But in Asia, you go to some other countries, they eat entities that have eyes, like cockroach, snakes, or grasshoppers. It's like a delicacy for them. So it's like really low class, lower than milechas. Milechas means cow eaters. Like in America, USA. These are the land of milechas. Milechas means it's really like they don't follow the Vedic injunctions, Vedic culture. And in the Vedic if one wants to eat meat or flesh, then he should eat lower species of life, not cows, because it's very sinful. They can eat porcupine. You know what's porcupine? You know that has pointed hairs. So, but nevertheless, he greeted. Every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of their rank and position. No one was said, "Oh, you're lower rank in the society." No way. Because he's the leader, he's the king. The king's position, or the leader of the country, is meant to liberate the subjects. Is meant to liberate them from the cycle of repeated birth and death, and he's meant to give them Krishna consciousness. The king or the president, let's say the president of US of A, it is his duty to lift the subjects in such a way that in this lifetime they go back home back to Godhead. He says in the Manu Samhita that the king or the leader of the society gets 1/6 of the karma of the people or the subjects. So, as much as possible, irregardless of what rank or what part of the society they belong to, they should be put at least into the mode of goodness and ultimately pure goodness. So that they can go back home, back to Godhead. This is the duty of the leaders or the kings or those who have responsibilities. Even the parents, father and mother, they should do this in such a way that the children also go back home, back to Godhead. So Lord Krishna is like this. Every one of them, regardless of their rank and positions, they're greeted. And greeting means also, it's like giving them blessings. Because that is the King, that is the Lord. No one is disqualified to receive the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, irregardless of one's position in the society. The more one is unqualified, we mentioned this in some meetings that we had, the more one is unqualified, the more he is qualified to receive the mercy. It's like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, we don't have any hope. If there in the scripture says, okay, the Milachas, the Yavanas, the Chandalas, the prostitutes, the homeless, like we were in the West Baltimore the other day, we were distributing prasadam, and it's really like, really gross. The mentality of the living entities there is like way down, way in the mode of ignorance. And there's no hope for them if we are not going to go there and distribute the holy name or prasadam. I'm sure in Philadelphia you have some places like that, huh? Most of the people there are like completely intoxicated. They don't know whether it's day or night. they don't have a clue of what's going on. Even the police doesn't want to touch the place. It's a wasteland. It's useless. But we go to those places. Otherwise, there is no hope to spread Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So each and every one of us, we have a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna is always waiting for us that day that we will turn our head towards Him and take shelter unto His lotus feet. Our main problem is that we turn our face away from Krishna. That's why we are in the material world. We become degraded because of that, turning our face away from Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna will come from time to time. Yada yada hidharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline of the religious practice, then Krishna will come. Or paritanaya sadhunam vinasaya chaduskritam dharma samsnapanartayana sambhavami yuge yuge. So whenever to annihilate or to kill the demons, and also to please his devotees, to protect his devotees. But automatically all of this can be done. Krishna doesn't have to come for this purpose. Krishna doesn't have to kill the demons. They'll be killed ultimately by time element, who representative of the Supreme Lord. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, time I am the destroyer of everything. But mainly he comes to please his devotees and especially to attract the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. That's why these pastimes of the Supreme Lord, he would come from time to time, once in one day of Lord Brahma, to invite us, to give us the opportunity of how it is, how it likes to be with Krishna, to be an association of the Supreme Lord. And this is his affection. This is his compassion towards the conditioned souls. Krishna is only enjoying in this spiritual world. He doesn't have to come. But indirectly, he will also send his avatars. He would send his incarnations, like here in the mandir. What a beautiful temple you have here. It's the first time we come for a long time. How many years now is built?
This here was built in December of 2018. It opened.
2018. I don't think we've been like this.
No. You were in the one on the other side, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's very vibrant. Yeah, you have pictures, or paintings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most of the avatars here, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimhadev, Kalki, Buddha, Ram, Parasuram, Krishna Balaram. Looks like you have the
Dasavatar.
Vamana is there. And also the paintings of Krishna Lila and Vrindavan. So all of these activities of the Lord are especially meant for the conditioned souls, so that we become attracted to his pastimes, and we also would like to go back home, back to Godhead. We're so caught up with being entangled in the material energy, in the material world, because we have this freedom to choose what we want to do, what we wish to do. If there is no freedom, there is no love. One may say, why can't Krishna just force us to love him? Why can't just Krishna make all of us to go back home, back to Godhead? And he can do that, no doubt. But then, where is the love there? Because you cannot enforce love. You try to develop love for your children, and you wish your children also. You try to develop. Automatically, the parents should have love for their children. But then sometimes we've heard some parents, they will throw their children in the waste bin. And sometimes they will find child, newly born or a few months old, somewhere in an alley. Huh? No, that is not. Automatically, naturally, the parents, they love their children. And they also wish that the children will love them in reciprocation so that they will grow up to be ideal human beings. So they want to give love. This is our nature. We want to love and we want to be loved. But unfortunately, the conditioned souls, their love is transferred not to the Supreme Lord, not to Krishna, but their love is transferred into material things because they want to enjoy their senses with the sense objects. They have forgotten their relationship with Krishna. We have forgotten our eternal loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. So we're given an opportunity. As Srila Prabhupada says, I gave you everything, all the facilities for us to go back home, back to Godhead. But still, we can have a choice. Whether I should pursue that or let me just hang around a little bit more. Let me just, I know where I'm going to go, but I don't want to do it now. I don't want to do it. I would like to, maybe when I get old. But when is old? When is old age? Old age is now. Because we don't know when are we going to die. Old age means before death. And who knows when are we going to die. So the Supreme Lord is so merciful. He's so compassionate. He gave us the Bhagavad Gita. He gave us the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's no difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and Lord Krishna. This is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord in the age of Kali. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If we really going to go back home, back to Godhead, then we will consider this proposal of Lord Krishna. You please come to me through my bona fide spiritual representative, the spiritual master, and you follow the process in the age of quarrel, Kali Yuga. Take part in the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, dance in front of the deities, associate with the devotees of the Supreme Lord. In this process, we don't say, I was hearing a lecture of Srila Prabhupada last night or the other day. He says, in this process, it doesn't matter what position you are in the society. We don't say, oh, you're uneducated? I'm sorry, my dear sir, you cannot enter the temple. You cannot join us. Oh, you are very, very fallen? I'm sorry, sir, you cannot. You are very poor? I'm sorry, only the rich can come in. Only the rich can join. You are poor? I'm sorry, sir. You cannot. No. Actually, we are all poor. Prabhupada says the definition of poor is that he does not have Krishna consciousness. One may be very, very rich, like Bezos or Musk, Elon Musk, or the Ambanis in India, or the Tatas, or the Birlas. But if one doesn't have Krishna consciousness, they are considered as poor. And the more actually we are poor, the more we are qualified. The more we don't have Krishna consciousness, that is the qualification that we really have, that will qualify us, like Jagayan Madai. So, Lord is equally affectionate to all of his parts and parcels. But we're given again, we mentioned this many times, this minute independence. And this is where we get into trouble. This minded independence is like a jewel that we have to take care. We have to properly give attention and not to take it for granted. This minded independence is like we can do whatever we wish to do, even though it is against the principles of religion, even though it is against the principles and laws of man, but we are culpable, we are responsible for that action. We cannot blame anyone for anything that's happening to us or will happen to us. But there are actions which will not have any more material reaction if we act according to Krishna's desire. This action is called akarma. Akarma means no more material reaction. What is a reaction? Krishna karma. It's karma also, but it's Krishna karma. That means one that is not under the jurisdiction of the three modes of material nature. That means his activities is spiritual, transcendental. So we should take advantage of that, these different facilities that Srila Prabhupada gave to us. Don't take it for granted. We should be very, very eager to go back home, back to Godhead. And one can be liberated even in this lifetime, even before one will give up the body, which is made of matter. We've seen that. We have many devotees in our movement who are engaged fully 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. And therefore they are already liberated. Any moment they'll be called by Krishna or they will leave their body. Guaranteed they go back home, back to Godhead. So no one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. So the question is, shall I do it or not do it? Shall I, okay, I agree. Agreeing is different than doing. Okay, I agree with you, Maharaj, but I cannot do it right now. I have so many responsibilities. I have my family. No. You become Krishna conscious, even with the family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Grihastha ashram is the best ashram in Kali Yuga. Because you will learn more. You'll be able to understand more the intricacies of the material energy, because Grihastha means you have a license for sense enjoyment. License means you don't overdo it. License like driver's license, I don't see it in America, driving in the opposite direction. But even if you go to India, they abuse the license. I don't know how they get the license. they don't even stop in the stoplight. No. Stop means go for them. It's the opposite.
Honk, 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 honk.
And they can drive without brakes, but they cannot drive without horn. Without horn is useless. No way, I'm not going to drive. With horn and no brakes, yes, I will drive. That's not the way how it goes. License is regulated. It is restricted also. Because this is the Grihastha ashram. You cannot take away that sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment must be also regulated. So we're very happy to be in Philadelphia. This is Srila Prabhupada came here for that Rath Yatra, right? It was like in Chicago or something. At that time that he came here, he heard that there is a Ratha. That's why your mandir is called New Nilachal Dham. Nilachal. Blue Mountain. Right? Blue Mountain. Okay, I'm stopping here now. We have any questions or comments? Yes, Haridas Baji.
Thank you so very much, Maharaj. First, thank you for visiting Philadelphia. Thank you for speaking. Thank you for chanting. Also sweet.
Hare Krishna.
You're always so kind when I come to Philadelphia. This verse that when I heard this verse, I was so moved because this verse is speaking about Krishna, and he's greeting the citizens. And the verse says, "The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head."
Yeah.
Exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands.
Yeah.
We see him, and this is the Supreme Lord. And so we get a glimpse of at him acting. And regardless of in my heart, I can't go so deep with this. But you get a glimpse of how he's reciprocating, ready to reciprocate. But the overlying thing that I felt in this whole situation was the affection. I just couldn't get past the affection of Krishna. And I figured maybe, because you know how he comes for us, and comes wipe out those things to appease the devotees, but the affection that he's displaying, that seems so personal and special.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about it.
Yeah. Krishna himself doesn't have to come. Krishna is only playing with the cowherd boys and dancing with the devotees in Vrindavan, the local Vrindavan. But then, his affection is so great that he agreed also to be a chariot driver of his friend and devotee. That's why when we heard that story of South India, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met this Brahmana, who is illiterate, and he was told by his guru to read the Bhagavad Gita every day. But then he says, I don't know how to read, and people are like mocking at me, they're laughing at me. And then Lord Krishna saw him crying. So he asked him, why are you crying? Oh, I'm crying because whenever I see this picture of Lord himself, out of his love and affection, he was driving the chariot of his friend. He played the role perfectly, especially in the Mahabharata, in the story of the battle between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. He was a messenger. He even agreed to be a messenger. And Queen Kunti knows that he is none other than the Supreme Lord. But she didn't show this. Because as an ant, she played that role of an ant. But knowing that Krishna is there, she should have bowed down. She's the one who should bow down, isn't it? But no, it was Lord Krishna who bowed down to her, to Queen Kunti. So this is the compassion. Without compassion, there is no affection. Or along with the affection, compassion is included. This is the affection, this is the love. It's like it says that Krishna is more eager than us for us to go back home, back to Godhead than we do. That's why he will come from time to time, different incarnations. Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya is the avatar. Chana avatar is the Gupta, is the hidden incarnation. But it says also in some parts of even the Srimad Bhagavatam that he is the incarnation. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone besides him, by speciality of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the uniqueness. All of those demons, they're Kalki, killing, they also get Vaikuntha. Krishna is so equal that even the demons who's trying to kill him, but no one can kill him, when they get killed, they also got liberation. All of these Satriyas in the Battle of Kurukshetra, even though they're on the other side with Duryodhana, they also went back home, back to Godhead, to Vaikuntha. But Brajapan, not so easy. He doesn't give Brajapan to the demons. Special. But in Kali Yuga, we have to kill the demons. Prabhupada says. Their mentality. Because being a demon or having a demon, acting like a demon against principles of religion is actually the mind. That demoniac mentality that we have to kill by giving them Harinam, by giving them Prabhupada's books, especially the knowledge, and at least prasadam. If they don't want to chant, if they don't want to read, I don't think they can refuse prasadam. Especially gulab jamuns, or jalebi, or samosa, or aloo paratha. No. They don't have any escape. No escape from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and love. In Kali Yuga, it says that Kali Yuga is like the best of all the ages. Even though it is the age of quarrel, it's considered to be the worst, but it is not. If one partakes in the process of Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is the love of Lord Krishna, the love that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being expressed is the same as the love of Srimati Radharani. You cannot go higher than that one. And Srila Prabhupada is a representative. That's why his father will ask the sadhus, please bless my son to be a devotee of Srimati Radharani. So Prabhupada is the incarnation of Radharani's mercy. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Do you have any question in your Zoom?
No.
You cannot see, huh?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any question here. Then we will stop, okay? Hold on. Oh no, it's gone. The connection was cut off. Anyway. Yes?
It was interesting that it mentioned that he was shaking hands. I remember early on I was told that devotees, we don't shake hands, we offer pranams. So I thought it was just interesting how they said the Lord was shaking people's hands.
He would actually he would embrace also. He would embrace Arjuna. Yeah, the Lord, whatever the Lord is doing, we are seeing the reflection of what we're doing here. Yes.
What assurances? It says he was giving assurances.
Assurance?
Assurance. What assurance was the Lord giving?
Assurance means guarantee. Like your insurance, it's not the same as assurance. Assurance means guarantee. What does it say here? Read it.
This is
And avoid benedictions.
he was shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank.
It's like there is hope for you. There is a hope for you. You don't worry. Wherever you are, even if you're in the lowest of the lowest, you are so degraded, I assure you, there is still hope for you. You don't worry. That is assurance, no?
So
Huh? How can you not get? How can you not take his hand, his help? You know, Krishna is the only one who can say that, and also the spiritual master. I was talking the other day. Prabhupada, he accepted a person who works in a slaughterhouse, who kills cows and animals. Prabhupada assured him, provided you don't sin anymore, you go back home back to God. So that is the process here. No one is rejected by the Lord. That's amazing, isn't it? Giving assurances and awarding benedictions. Krishna is always ready to give us these benedictions, but we are not ready to accept it. But ready to accept those, that means we have to pay the price. We have to work hard. It's not that, okay, Krishna, I'm waiting for your blessings and benedictions. It's okay. When will you give to me? I'm ready, but I'm just going to sit here and you think it's going to come? No, we have to work hard. We have to get up early in the morning. We have to chant our rounds. We have to follow the Four Regulative Principles. We have to read Bhagavad Gita. We have to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Come to the mandir. Pandemic is over. Well, not completely, but the temple is open now, so come. Because Krishna wants to see you. When we come to the temple, it is not that actually we're the one who's seeing the Lord. Krishna is seeing us more. The darshan means he is the one who's having a darshan of us. Hare Krishna. Okay, we stop here.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Lord Krishna is entering Dwarka ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bo. His Holiness Janadhana Maharaj ki Jai.